Hello, everyone. We are Project Foam. Our purpose is to inspire and empower individuals across the globe through affordable robotic technology. My name is Angelo Payavala, and I'm the founder of Project Foam.
My name is
My,
David, and I am the head of technology.
my name is Madhav, and I'm the head of operations.
One of the reasons why humans have come this far in intelligence and technological advancements is our ability to connect and socialize with one another. And most importantly, our ability to help each and everyone in our lives. In a world filled with technology, many of which we are exposed to, considering the fact we're in Silicon Valley, it doesn't question our leap to dream big and innovate the world around us. Sadly, in some places, this just isn't true. I had the opportunity to travel around Tanzania. I visited nearly 50 different schools, and what I discovered was truly shocking. After speaking with many individuals, teachers, and headmasters, there is a clear lack of drive to innovate. And why is this? We believe it comes down to Tanzania being a new emerging economy, just like many other countries out there, as well as funding towards schools, which leads to a lack of opportunity, and the direct reason why many secondary school students end up going into the Boda Boda taxi field right after school. And that causes them to go into their career or any day-to-day job. Now, this is a pie chart demonstrates the interests of nearly 300 primary school students. It's clear that medicine followed by flight school has its place as one of the most popular goals in the group. It is safe to assume that these goals are influenced by safety jobs, which generate a steady flow of income, and that innovative influence is essentially non-existent. To talk a little bit more about production, here's David.
Thank you, Angelo. All right, so you might be asking yourself, are there already products that influence kids around the world? Yes, and here are three examples. Let's say you have generic Legos, Mindstorm kits, even these new UB Tech robots, which are pretty nice. While these are amazing products, there is still a small factor that is really the differentiating factor between those who have the opportunity to use it and those who don't. The price. Let's be realistic. For a small medium Lego set, you're looking for maybe around $30 and $125 for the UB Tech and a staggering $345 for the Lego Mindstorm kit. And this just doesn't work because they are just too expensive. And what makes them expensive? To simply put it, user experience, high quality materials, as well as a very accurate mode, and of course, the branding. Whatever the factors are, they are just too expensive for the kids in the remote regions. Then, what is our solutions? Our solution is robotic foam fiber composites, essential polywood. And why? The main reason is that it is cheap, easy to make, and of course, accessible. And here is the process. Our product, our production process will be to design the models, then cut them by laser, and finally fabricate and distribute to users around the world. The very first step is to design. This phase will be to construct the best possible way for our products to perform. This includes assembly through CAD and incorporating Arduinos and accessories. The next step is to print with a laser cutter. This can be accessed and B2C locations around the Bay Area. They allow the public to use their facilities. Finally, we will export our products to Jacob Wells, the local organization we cooperate with, and the products will be shifted to the local schools. And lastly, more than just kids. What the kids in there need is the opportunity. The kids are only a medium through which people get the opportunity. Our goal here is to help the kids there to have the basic vision of modern technology. To talk about his experience with building such a kits, here's Angelo.
Thank you, David. So this is possible. It works. While I was in high school, I was part of a first robotics team, and we wanted to show the capabilities of something new. So we used a foam fiber composite built robot. As you can see in this picture, we were the only team that came up with such a thing. A metal robot would cost such a, $7,000, and we assembled our piece for nearly $300. And that's sort of the vision that we want for Project Foam. Make easy, accessible robots for children to use around the world in a very affordable price. To talk more about our operations, here's Madhav.
Thank you, Angelo. So, as a nonprofit, we primarily depend on donations from sponsors that are willing to contribute to increasing opportunities people have in countries like Tanzania. Our sponsors would include individuals and companies, and that includes people like you, who would like to contribute to this vision. This would push ourselves to produce our products and distribute them to underdeveloped countries. We believe being a tech-based nonprofit comes to our advantage because right now we are in Silicon Valley. This is the global center of technology. And over here, there are lots of companies who would be willing to sponsor and fund a technology-based nonprofit that would empower others, empower people in other countries to find opportunities in technology. And we believe we can use this to our advantage to find the funding we need to get this project started and to get our nonprofit going. So partnerships are a very integral part of organizations and even companies. And Angelo and us, we have been talking to different organizations such as Jacob's Well Foundation, which is a Tanzania-based project where they try to provide necessities to people in Tanzania. And we believe partnering with them as our first step would allow us to efficiently distribute our kits and spread them out to people there. And through that, we would be able to start our project. And there are other organizations as well that we have been doing partnerships with, such as Build to See, which, as David said earlier, it's a organization that allows you to print products and kits and things like that almost for free of cost. And so through these partnerships, we believe we can effectively get Project Foam going and provide opportunities to people in Tanzania. Our projection plan is around this year, we hope to do some marketing and funding and raise the initial funding that we need to get Project Foam going. By next year, we would start exporting prototypes to Tanzania and start with a few schools there, send them prototypes and iterate on that to see which types of kits work, which don't, and what we can improve on that. That would be followed by, in the following year, setting up a tech shop in Dar es Salaam, which is in Tanzania. And from there, we would produce more kits and spread out to more schools around Africa. So now we'll have Angelo give us some closing notes on Project Foam.
Thank you, Madhav. We live in Silicon Valley, one of the most noble tech hubs in the world. We believe that innovative spirit should happen across the globe in all different communities to bring change and to influence. Imagine the possibilities if we worked with not just ourselves, but the entire globe and the society around our large community. In a world where opportunities may be gated by wealth or power, we believe that everyone has the gift of curiosity. If little Sarah had just gotten that robotic spark at a young age, the world benefits. Remember, change happens over time, and that single element will give us the great pioneers of tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your presentation. You got it on time. So let's move on to the judges' questions or clarifications.
Thank you for the presentation. I wanted to know what your marketing strategies are going to be.
So as of right now, our focus is going to be establishing in stores as well as Walgreens, Walmart, any of those grocery stores to get the attention out, as well as merchandise. We believe merchandise is a great way to get the word out as to who we are. Who doesn't like to show off their great sort of who they're supporting in their lives, as well as merchandise. We also think that teaming with companies that already have that established sort of group following them, we believe that that would, if we can team with them, such as Jacob Wells, we can use them to leverage off and get more people to support us. And also having that initial stance in Tanzania, we can show pictures as well as what we do in Tanzania that will also gain us credibility, which we can use to get more people to support us.
To add on to that, foundations like the Jacob's Well Foundation, they're already established in Tanzania, and we've been talking with them, and partnerships like these will allow us to easily spread in Tanzania because they already have the resources and the connections there. And so we believe we can use that to our advantage.
Thank you for your presentation. I love your mission, and I think that's a noble cause. My question is, I think I was a little bit confused on how you plan to raise money, and following on Cassandra's question. Sounds like you do want to partner with big tech. How would you? My understanding for nonprofit, there's always a metrics you need to track, just like other startups. How would you measure your success of impact, and also in a way to convince additional donors like the big techs or even individual donors that you are doing what really good impact?
That's a great question. One of the things that comes to my mind right now is when people get these kits, we hope the people that get these kits would use them and they would feel more inclined to go into a field like engineering and in that space. And if we can get more and more people and see how many people are actually impacted with that, I think that is one metric that we can show to potential donors, showing them that these are the people that may have gone into, let's say, taxi driving or motorbike, things like that. And instead, they are now going into something that is more innovative and that's more creative in a sense, such as engineering. I don't know if that answers your question, but I think just the fact that showing people there are actually impacted would probably, we believe, would be one leverage to convince donors to sponsor our organization.
Do you have any preliminary estimation on how much money you need to get your project started?
So this is it's very early stage, but I would think anywhere from 20,000 to $50,000 to start with would be a good amount for us to start marketing, prototype, and spread to schools over there. And that would probably be our first round of funding and our first stage before we start expanding in Tanzania.
Love your idea. And just out of my curiosity, how did you source those materials and how you nail down to the existing material you're using right now?
So that comes from my experience in my high school robotics team, right? We were there, and our goal was really to say that we can do something different in a much more affordable way. So when it came to down to that plywood sort of concept, it really came from that and taking inspiration from that. And then from there, we built off. I wanted to know what we could do in the world. So I went over to Tanzania and I asked students exactly what they wanted to be. So from knowing that, our goal is to create something that's catered to their interests. So it would spark their sort of innovation and and give them empowerment to make it whatever they want in terms of technology. I don't know if that answered your question, but.
Love it. I think this is the last question Alex mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to explain more for team members, it's okay. But if that's all, then we can move on to the next team.